My name is Majek. I'm an artist based in London and I just completed the drawing year in 2024. My practice is primarily painting with charcoal, oil, acrylic, on wood. I think like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I started working with family photos that I found at home and I just kept on drawing from them. Since then, I think I've created a relationship with the family archive and I started to kind of fall in love with working with the figure, but in kind of an elusive way, in a way that the figure's disappearing. And I think that's because of how I felt about the family photo and about these images that were from the 1980s. So I think it felt like these people didn't really exist and I was kind of bringing them back to life. I think, yeah, the drawing allowed me to kind of explore the personal narratives a bit more deeply. I think I kind of relied heavily on the family archive because it was more comfortable, but I think since starting the year, it felt like I couldn't escape exploring themes that were more personal to me as an individual, not just my family. The drawing year has affected my practice in the way I approach mark making. The way I used to draw before was I would draw with it in mind that I'm going to also paint. I think it's been around a lot of artists and being around so many people that approach drawing in such different ways that pushed me to really see how I can draw differently, especially coming in with a painting background. I think drawing felt new to me as well. So yeah, really, I think it's changed how I paint as well. It's changed how I make work generally and how I think about making. I think 2 classes, printmaking and drawing a story, I think those 2 really activated parts of me and making that I haven't really, I've been approaching before, but it really gave me the space and the time to really explore that. And I think drawing a story really, it was the fact that I could really explore my imagination. In the way I usually would work, I would come with an idea or an image or a subject that I want to explore. But in that class, it was the stories became the subject and became something else to figure out in the space and not just have something originally there. And I think also the blend of those stories in that class and also my own story and kind of coming up with something unexpected and new was really nice in those classes. And then printmaking was amazing as well because being able to create an image on the plate and then let it go when you kind of you send it through the press feels like a separation which felt necessary for me, and it felt like I kind of lose control in that way. And I think that losing of control really helped me not have too much of an expectation on the work and also let the work be what it's meant to be. The most important things I've learned during the year is, I think, taking risks. I think is really, I've learned that, and breaking out of your comfort zone in your habits of making. I think the drawing year forces you to step out of that space or step out of what you're used to, and then it just shows you that there's so much possibility in just drawing. Obviously you make so much other type of work and you work in so many mediums in the studio, but when you're in the classes, it's you realize there's so much possibility within drawing, and not just drawing, even though drawing is this expansive thing. I think I came into drawing with such a not limited, but kind of this is why you draw, this is how you draw. But I think starting the year made me realize that there's so many other ways to draw and there's so much possibility in drawing. The advice I would give to someone applying for the drawing year would be take it easy. I think don't put too much pressure on yourself when applying. I think I knew I really wanted to do it for a long time, and then I applied and the interview process was just more stressful than it should have been. And I think when I realized and calmed down and knew that if this is for me, it will happen, and I've tried the best I can and I've put in all the work I can. So at that point, there's nothing more I can really do. So I think going in with that kind of thinking really, I think would be quite helpful. Also just for your own peace of mind.